It's Magic 102.3 and 92.7. VJ in the midday. It's Vic Jagger. So, I'm always looking for new music, and especially from boss chicks who do their thing with it. I mean, take care of the business side as well as the music side. So I have the pleasure of having Tyler Dumont in the studio today. How are you doing?
I'm great, Vic. Thank you for having me.
I'm looking through and I'm reading your bio and everything, and I heard the single, so we're going to get into that a little later. But what really struck me was you have your own label. Yeah. And that told me right there, oh, she's about her business. Like,
That's right.
Boston,
That's right.
Okay?
I had to become the label.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So did you find that when you started out, like, is that something that you already made the decision about? Like, okay, let me not try to go after this thing like an artist would, where it's like, okay, I need the approval. I need these yeses. I need, somebody to kind of usher me and help me to get to where I want to be. But you know what? Maybe I should start my own, create my own lane, and then push it out there.
Well, I think a lot of the times we as artists, we have this preconceived notion of thinking, okay, an A&R is going to hear us out. We're going to have a meeting set up, and then from there on, a major label is going to pick us up, and from there on,
get pushed out. Like,
exactly.
It's cool.
But I think me myself personally, ever since I was a kid, I always had the thought of, well, what if I can have my own label, call my own shots, make my own decisions, not having to really say nothing to anybody, and just do what I do, because I think you should never be stifled as an artist, and that was one of my things. I just wanted to be free to create.
I was about to say, I so understand that. And I feel like, when we have to go out and we work so hard, and then, you're under someone else's wing.
That's right.
It's almost like you're in a box almost where and as a creative, we're like, we always have to be doing something. I always have to be creating. If I don't like it this way, then I'm going to change it and try this avenue.
Right.
And so you have that creative control. So I love that. And also, you get to watch those coins, okay?
That's right. Exactly. Well, I mean, to say that, I have to thank my partner, Lana, for making that happen. Yeah. She actually was the one that took a chance on me. She heard me. She was like, hey, so what are you doing with your music? Where do you want to go?
We always need that one person.
How do you see yourself? Right. And if you don't have that one person to believe in you, it's like you're literally going to be there and expect to have that so-called meeting that we all wait for.
Yeah, because it's like we can do it ourselves, but really we can't do it by ourselves.
We can't.
Like,
we always need the help.
Yeah, we always need the help, but as long as we know where we're going with it. And so, as a woman in this business, what are some of the challenges that you faced? Because I can definitely understand that it is a male-dominated field, but we are kicking down doors. You won't let us in the door. We're going through the window. Okay, we're climbing on top of the roof.
Right.
We're breaking through the ceiling.
I never see obstacles in my way. Like, you're right. I mean, women are dominating, and like I try to never focus on those type of things. Like, once I set a goal, I go for it. I don't ever stop, and I don't let anything derail me from that goal. So I'm just like constantly just continuing to work hard and just be the best version of myself every day.
That. Yeah. I love that. And when it comes to the music, I know some artists, they say a song will pop in their head while they're brushing their teeth, or they could be fast asleep and maybe like hear something in their dream and just like wake up and start writing. Do you have a certain creative process that you go through when you're thinking of music, when you're thinking of songs that you want to put out? Do you grab from experiences that you faced or that your friends vent to you about? How does that process work for you?
My process is very liberal. I try not to even stifle myself as to how to. I can be going through something, any old thing, and that'll inspire me to write a song. If I'm going through something myself, or someone I know close enough to me is going through something, that'll in itself inspire me. So, I mean, I could be, let's say, insomniac at 2 a.m., and if I have an idea, something comes to my mind, I'll just get my little voice memo and record it there. So it's really, it has to just come to you. And I'm very thankful that I guess with me, it's more so go with the flow. But as soon as that idea comes, make sure you jot it down. Because a lot of times I'll have a dream, and the dream will give me a hook. And I've had that happen to me a lot of times. I'll hear this amazing hook. By the time I wake up, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. This could have been a hit.
So I always keep
my phone near me.
Notebook or, of course, my phone or something I could just jot down because
Right.
I know I'm going to forget it later, even though I'm just like, oh, yeah, that's it. And I know I'm going to remember it. I never do. Ever. Like,
So
ever.
you know. Exactly.
Yeah. And so, going through this entire process, starting your own label, putting out the music that you want to put out, so far, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned?
Biggest lesson I've learned. You have to do things for yourself. No one's going to hand anything to you for free. That's one of the biggest lessons. And also, at the end of the day, you have to do what you love, and you got to do it for yourself. Because the people that you so-called think are rooting for you, they can be rooting for you, but really something happens that when you just manage to hit a certain point in your life, they're not really happy or celebrating for you.
Oh my gosh! Let me tell you, I've
got struck with that.
It's almost like, and I've seen it time and time again. People will root for you, and people want you to do well, but they don't want you to do better than them.
That's right.
And it's like, how does that even work? Exactly.
Right. You don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know if I've been homeless enough, if I've been hungry, if I've, come through a lot of obstacles or turbulence in my life. So it's like nobody knows anyone's story.
You don't know how many L's I had to take to get this win.
Exactly.
And that's the bottom line for it. You're supposed to be happy for everybody anyway. That's how you get more blessings. Okay, you can't hate your way to the top.
Thank you. So that's something I always try to remember. Even since I was a kid, I always remember just always rooting my friends. Oh my God, yes, this is amazing. But it's like you always expect that, but when you're not getting it, and it's from the people that you expect that, you're like, what's happening here? I thought you would have been
happy for me.
Wow. Yeah. That's been one of the
And so, but it didn't stop you from putting out nomadic behavior now. Okay, this debut album is coming.
It's coming.
Now, we do have to wait until the fall.
Yeah.
But you are giving us some really good music so far because this single, Don't Mean It. So we were in here, I was listening to it, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, just I can tell that even if it's not your specific experience, okay, just the energy that you're putting into it, you're like, oh, yes, girl. It's one of those like, yes, okay, let me listen to this one more time. You know?
I mean, I had to give, and it's not really about like giving my ladies an anthem because it happens to both men and women. And even if you're not in that type of intimate relationship, it can happen with you and your sister, you and your brother, you and your mother. A lot of times we get into these arguments and we'll say things that we really don't mean in the heat of the moment to purposely hurt them because we're trying to make a point. But when it's all said and done, you have to remember that it's love and we really didn't mean it. So I thought that was more of a broad type of anthem and message that I wanted to give people.
Yeah.
You say things, but it's all love at the end of the day, and you really don't mean it. I just said that to piss you. I don't know if you can say that. But,
you good. Yeah. Snoop came in here and was about to start cussing. I was just like, sir, we're on the radio. No, I know how it is, though. So it's all good. Yeah. But, moving forward and, working through, you're putting out this debut project. So I know you don't want to look, too far ahead on the direction where you want to go, but are there any collaborations that you would love to happen? Because we're going to speak it into existence right here, right
That's
now.
Right.
Okay.
I totally believe in that. Are you kidding me?
So who are your dream artists that you would love to just collaborate with?
Oh my God, dream artists. So Tyler, the Creator, Childish Gambino, Snow Allegra, her.
I love her.
I love her too. Oh my gosh.
And she's super dope because she plays all the instruments.
I know. She's like, oh my God, on fire.
So that would be a great collaboration.
Mos Def. Oh, wow. I had to throw. I'm sorry. I've been a Mos Def fan since I was a kid, so I would love to get.
I know it's all gonna come, especially with your grinding and hustle and hard work. So what is the best advice that you've gotten so far that will help to shape the way you move in this business?
Best advice I've ever gotten. To be honest, don't make excuses. If you want it that bad, if you're that hungry for it, just keep going and don't let anyone derail you. Don't let anyone talk you out of if you really feel it and, there's a conviction behind it, keep going. At the end of the day, only you can make those dreams a reality. No one else is going to hand anything for you, like I said earlier. So if you want it that bad, go out there and get it. Just get it. Work for it.
That's some great advice. Yeah. All right. So where can folks find you on social media? Where can we follow everything that Tyler Dumont has going on?
All social media platforms, Tyler Dumont Music. IG, Facebook, Twitter. Drop me a DM, a comment, doesn't matter. I always reply.
I know you got a tour comment too, but I'm sure the details haven't been worked out
That's
yet.
right,
But
that's
if you
right.
want to tell us, you know, if you got the tour comment.
Right now, just working on making sure that nomadic behavior is at its best and that everyone resonates with it. Because I think at the end of the day, I'm giving everybody somewhat of an autobiographical story. So it's going to be interesting.
I love it. Thank you so much.